Here we are discussing about screen flow of Salesforce. If you have not seen the core concept flow video, you can go and check out first, where I have explained about the basics and core concepts of flow that will help you to understand screen flow also. So where we can use screen flow, or why we need screen flow, what is screen flow, these are the questions I am going to answer in this video. So if we talk about what is screen flow is basically a screen or a UI flow that you can use anywhere to take input from user and enrich that data, manipulate that data, and you can show that data to the user, or you can store that data in your database to update the information of any records in Salesforce. So to start with the screen flow, there are two different runtime experience of screen flow. Uh, if we talk about runtime experience, this is basically the UI of the screen flow that is different in classic experience. If you are aware, there are two runtime experience we have in Salesforce. One is classic and one is click on new flow and then select the screen flow. Okay, so if you like to create a screen flow, you need to select the screen flow. That is a starting element of the flow where that screen will start. So we need to add a screen, and here what I am creating, let me tell you, I am creating a flow that will create contact on account object or account record screen or anywhere. If you like to use that flow to create contact, you can use anywhere. So this is basically a flow, screen flow, that collect information from user and create a contact. So to create that, we can use the to create to create that we can use the components of the screen flow. These are pre-built or out of the box component, those you can use to take input. You need no need to define the components. There are pre-built or out of the box components are there to use. If like this is the name component, this have first name and last name, and you can use that pre-built component. We can also define like where this component will display. Like if you uh, like to create a dynamic layout for your screen flow, based on the condition you can decide like where you want to show that component. Like if I don't like to show the first name and last name, so we can use set component visibility for that. Based on that criteria, we can show and hide those components. So I am adding more components here. If you here you can see address, appointment schedule is a lightning component action or lightning component, pre-built out of the box lightning component of field service lightning package that you can use on flow also. Like if you have created a lightning component and you like to reuse that component in the flow, you can also add lightning components in the flow. So let's add first name, last, some of the fields. So there are many components are there, like checkbox group, currency, date. You can use any type of component to create the UI. So lookup component basically is a lookup field or lookup ID that you like to show on your layout. So here you just need to define the object API name where that lookup is available and the name of the lookup, and just ready to use. Here checkbox, we can use checkbox group if we like to use more than one or checkbox. If we like to collect the address information, so there is address component, pre-built address component is there. You can use radio button also, like if you like to create radio button, so radio button is also pre-built or out of the box component. So there are mm, lots of component to use in a screen flow that actually made the screen flow is more usable and easy to use. More click and point features are there, drag and drop features, we can say. You do not need to define or create the components or fields to create a screen to get input from user. You can have enough component to use in a screen to get the information from user. So from user by screen, and now we need to create the contact record. So I have selected the create record element of the flow. So to create a record, we just need to select the new create record or create record element of the flow. How many record to create? Like if you have information in collection or in more than one rows, you can choose multiple and you can iterate those collection values and create more than one record also. If you need to create only one, as in my scenario I am going to create only one record. How to set the record value? Like you can use any existing record or assignment if you have, or you can decide your object where you like to create that record and use the resource to assign the value. Those resources are coming from the screen element. So I have selected the contact and currently selecting the fields where I need to update the value, and assigning the screen resources to assign the value that comes from the screen or the UI that we have created only. So these are the basically user inputs we have collected from the user, and these are available as a resource, and we can assign those value to the field of that object. So that's what I'm doing here. I have selected account, first name, last name, and as I have assigned the value from screen resource. So account is the record ID of account, name is the first name of name resource, or the name component that comes from the screen. Last name is the last name is comes from the name component of the screen, and these are the mailing, these are the, and the next is the address. So I am adding the mailing or address field to the create. If you like to connect the decision more than one times, then you can connect that also. So let's connect the screen with create record. So what is this flow? This flow basically collect the information by using a screen from user, and we are not using the email, or we are just using account first name last name and the address. So basically screen collecting the information, create record element is creating the contact record. That is basic screen flow. I'm creating basic to made that concept easy to understand. I will create some video on advanced concept of flows. When I will create that video, then we will create some advanced flows or screen flows. Those have lots of permutation, combination, or steps, complex requirement. So use of we are working on use of screen flow. So first is lightning page. So let's see. So just edit any lightning page and select from the component and drag the flow component on anywhere. Let's say here I am creating a tab to add the flow component for create contact. So let's add a tab here. Add a tab, select for the custom tab. Okay, custom tab, create contact. Create contact, drag the flow component from the available components. After dragging that component, you just need to select the right flow that you like to use. So let's select drop that and select the create contact. Okay, let's remove that and select create contact, sorry, create contact. So I have added a flow component and added the create contact flow. Save that page, activate that page. So that way you can add the screen flow on lightning page. Let's see on the detail page how it looks like. So if you go to the account record detail page, you can see create contact tab, and if you go to the create contact tab, you can see the screen flow that we have created. So select the account, input the first name and last name, address, so this is the section. We can also create the section in screen flow if we like to divide our fields in different sections. This is the address section. Let's input the address and click on next. So here you can see a new contact is created. So how there is a create contact component that we are using currently on account detail page. So anywhere, if any lightning page is using anywhere, you can use the flow component. If you like to use screen flow in flow actions, let's say I like to create a action where I like to use the create contact flow. So create a new action type should be flow, and select the select the flow that you like to use. So in the flow, select the create contact flow and none. Set up a name of that quick action. Let's say create name, create contact, and save. And if you add that action to the layout, just add that action into the layout, and you can see the create contact is available on the account detail page. So you can also use from action button also. If you like to create a contact from here, that is also your. If you see there are so add email, title, and phone. If you add those components in the screen, then you need to set up in the create record also, like define the field and assign the value that comes from the screen. So that's how you can add some more fields also. I have this also. And let's add a error. Let's say this is a screen is used to create a contact. If any error or exception will come for that action, where that flow will go. So let's add a fault or error screen also, and a success screen also, to so that contact is created successfully. So you can add another screen also. You can pop up the message by adding another screen. So let's add a success screen. So to show that message, I have added the display text component, where I just need to error. I just need to add the content that I like to show to the user. Let's say this component is to create the contact. So contact created successfully is the message if that runs successfully. I forget to define the screen name. Let's name that success. Let's add another screen for fault path. So if any exception or something goes wrong in process to create a contact, that flow will take that fault error path and show you a error message. You can define that error message as a custom message also, or you can use resource to get the correct message for that fault. So currently I am using a custom message or adding a custom message to show the error or fault path. So I have added the error, and let's activate that. Let's show the activated, and let's run that. How this look likes. So by URL you just need to add the flow/flow name. So flow name is create contact, and this will execute this way if you like to execute. So the next is utility bar. So search for the app, go to the app manager, open up the console app where you like to see that action or flow, screen flow in the utility bar. So I am adding that to service console. So edit the console application, click on utility item, add utility item, select the flow component, and just remove the existing component and set the label create contact. Set the label. If you like to specify your icon for that action, you can add any icon. I have changed that icon. If you like to start that flow automatically, then you can make the checkbox true and just change the flow name and add your flow and save. And if you go to the utility bar, you will, yeah, maybe I need to refresh that. I have refreshed that, and here is the action where you can create the contact from utility bar. What is the use of utility bar? If I can say, you already see that I have created a action for a screen flow, a lightning page where we are using screen flow, but those are record specific. Like you need to go to the account record and add that component. If you like a free form to create a record, create a contact on service console application anytime, so you can add that screen flow in utility item, and you will see the action everywhere. Like if you are using service console app, you are on contact, you are on case, you are on any record, you can just click on the create contact utility bar action item and you can create a contact. So that is the benefit to add the screen orchestrator. I already created a video on flow orchestrator. If you like to see, I have added that in I button. And if we talk about experience builder page, these are same as lightning page. Like if you add your component in experience builder or community page, so you can see the flow working on the communities also. So if you like to use your flow on community pages also, you can add the screen flow as I have shown you. If you like to see the properties of Salesforce, here is the all Salesforce properties is there. So what is the versioning, what is the template used, and the type of flow, these type of information are available here. You can also decide like in which context you like to run that flow. Like if you have used any lookup field, and for that lookup field some user do not have access for that field, so that cannot use that flow without any access, so you can run that screen flow in the without sharing access all data, and that flow will be accessible for all the user with no permission also. So with that how to run the flow, you can override the access limitations with the screen flow. Okay, so that's all on screen flow. If you have any question, you can comment and ask. I will try to answer. Thank you for watching.